طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع.
We've already committed certain errors and certain sins in our life, and we see Ramadan to be one of the opportunities once again for us to earn the forgiveness of Allah Azza wa Jal. That is true. Man sama Ramadanan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Whoever embarks on the fasting of Ramadan, believing solely that is a commandment that is coming from Allah Azza wa Jal, and expecting, having the hope of his reward not from any other place but from Allah Azza wa Jal, indeed definitely shall be forgiven his sins, the past ones. And man qama Ramadanan imanan wa ihtisaban, whoever also stands up in the night and embarks on prayers for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, believing absolutely that it is Allah Azza wa Jal that has commanded him to embark on so many worship in this month so as to get his reward from Allah Azza wa Jal, then indeed he shall be forgiven his sins, the past ones. So with this hope, all of us now plan our Ramadan and prepare for our Ramadan. But my dear brother who is listening to me, and my dear sister who is listening to me, indeed, if we understand the concept of Ramadan and the purpose of Ramadan as enshrined in the Quran, then definitely the way we should prepare for it, the seriousness we should attach to the preparation, and the methodology of the preparation, and the scope of the preparation, and the depth of the preparation definitely will change. So many a times, because we don't understand why Allah Azza wa Jal said we should fast, and because we don't know the spiritual, psychological, and emotional implication and dimension of fasting, in the end of it all, we end up stopping so many of our bad habits in the month of Ramadan. But when the month of Ramadan passes, we go back to pick those bad habits. We go back to pick those sins. Because we don't understand the concept of Ramadan very well, and the purpose of fasting in the month of Ramadan, we end up heightening the significance of certain rituals in the month of Ramadan, and we increase them in the month of Ramadan, and at the end of Ramadan we drop them and forget them. Consequently, and as a result, we pile up reward in the month of Ramadan just like mountains, very high as we stand to look at it. At the end of Ramadan, we go back to our bad habits and we stop those lofty rituals that we used to embark in the month of Ramadan and start earning certain sins for our bad habit. We pile them up for the 11th month before we realize we dig a hole that the piled up reward in the month of Ramadan will not be sufficient to even close that particular hole. Indeed, my brother and my sister who is listening to me, we need to understand the meaning of Ramadan. Allah Azza wa Jal defines to us what Ramadan is and what we are expected to do in the month of Ramadan, what we are expected to get in the month of Ramadan, and consequently to the core purpose of Ramadan. Allah Azza wa Jal mentions the month of Ramadan only once in the Quran. It appears only once in the year. And he tells us exactly what to be done in the month of Ramadan, and then what to be earned or expected of us from the month of Ramadan. And when we earn that one, the changes that that thing should also do in our life, Allah Azza wa Jal states it in the Quran. In Quran chapter 2 verse 183 up to 185, Allah Azza wa Jal gives us a vivid description of whatever should be done in Ramadan, whatever should be earned in Ramadan, and what that earnings should actually do in our lives. Allah Azza wa Jal in Quran chapter 2 tells us that Shahru Ramadan
الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون.
وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that in the end of the month of Ramadan we would have enacted, we would have enshrined, we would have sparked our sense of gratitude and gratefulness to lead us throughout our salah and throughout our life for the rest of the 11th month. Allah Azza wa Jal defines the month of Ramadan. The Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran, the month of Ramadan is that month that this Quran was revealed. Likewise, all the other divine books and scriptures were also revealed in the month. Allah is telling you that you need to establish a unique relationship with the Quran in the month of Ramadan. And then what the Quran is supposed to do for us is for us to get guidance from the Quran. Hudan linnas. It is not only for Muslims. The entirety of mankind are supposed to get guidance from the Quran. In our life, basically, the Quran has guidance for us, whether we are Muslims or we are not Muslims. The Quran guides our body. The Quran guides our normal life principles, the whole of the universal ethics. In any civilization at all, it is very difficult to get a value, to get an ethic, or to get a virtue that contradict with the Quran. If only we call it a value or a virtue, it's very difficult. Why? Because the Quran is hudan linnas. Then wabayyinatin min al-huda, the Quran, when we recite it, we are supposed to extract explanations and life principles from the Quran to guide us in whatever we are doing. Whatever we are doing, how to do it, the Quran is supposed to guide us. And then it is also wal furqan. Whenever we want to give a decision, the Quran is a pivot for the sense of criterion, for the sense of distinction, for us to be able to know our left from our right.
طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا